Through 5, CompuBox averages. Cotto 22 out of 60, Mosley 22 out of 67. So the average landing the same number of punches per round. Cotto with just a slightly higher connect percentage. If both men stand up, very hard fight to score.
Jack Mosley asked Shane in the corner, how you feeling? Good? He was looking for good. And Shane said, all right, not exactly good.
This is the roughest fight that I think I've ever saw Shane, even though he was clearly beaten by Winky. Winky was just not a big puncher, but he's getting hit with some power punches. And the same goes for Cotto. I've never saw anyone hitting him like this.
Absolutely. Both guys are going against quality opponents who want to make every punch count, and so many of these punches have truly counted so far that it's breathtaking. Frankly, you sit here and wonder how men can do this.
Very few can.
It's funny. Most effective blow of Cotto, and he doesn't use it much, is his draft jab. Good right hand. That's the right hand that I said that was the best punch that he has for most is the right hand. Shane does not have a good defense for his right hands.
And Shane is necessarily conscious of Cotto's constant drum beat with the left hand. So the right hand becomes a stealth weapon for Cotto, and he's beginning to use it to greater and greater effect. He hurt Judo with right hands.
But Shane particularly, I watched in the Fernando Vargas fight, I said that was Fernando Vargas' favorite best punch. He just didn't throw it enough, much like Cotto. But Shane does not seem to have a defense for right hands. And the jab is coming in pretty good with regularity. Cotto just doesn't throw the jab enough. Even though Shane looks like the boxer, moves, has a rhythm, he really isn't a boxer because he doesn't have the authoritative jab that Cotto has.
He's a fighter.
Yeah, he's a fighter. Shane is definitely a fighter.
Tonight. He's an all-out
fighter.
Butting left hook for Miguel Cotto. There's just a trace of weariness in the features of Shane Mosley.
Yep. Cotto is a lot more comfortable with the situation.
Tremendous flurry by Mosley.
And still, one solid jab from Cotto has more effect and does more damage than all of the blows that Shane is doing, because Shane's punches are loose with his hands and not tightly closed.
Thought I saw Cotto left hook stray a little low there.
That was a big subject before the fight, as specifically Jack Mosley, Shane's trainer, talked at some length to media about what he sees as Cotto's tendency to use low blows when in trouble. Hasn't happened here. We're halfway through and it's been amazing. Miguel Cotto's sons waiting at ringside. Miguel has been a parent ever since his middle teens, and I think that figures into his massive maturity for such a young fighter.
Come on, all you have to do is throw first, and straight punches, not looping punches. How you feeling? How's your hair? Good?
Here you see Miguel Cotto land a short right hand right on the chin of Shane. Perfect punch. Counter punch that normally knocks out opponents.
Let's go.
CompuBox numbers in round 6. Cotto 26 out of 62, 42%. Mosley 22 out of 66. They were just about even in power shots. Harold Letterman, how do you have it halfway through?
I'll get you 4 rounds to 2. 58, 56. Miguel Cotto. Jim, for 5.5 rounds, Sugar Shane Mosley stood right in front of Miguel Cotto and banged with him, shot for shot. Halfway through the 6th round, he went to plan B. He started a box, he started a move, he started a jab. That's the style he's got now. It's not the same style he put for 5.5 rounds. Let's see if Cotto can, outbang him in that style that Mosley's using now. Anyway, 4 rounds to 2. Miguel Cotto, I think he's won the last 3 rounds in a row.
Cotto momentarily switches southpaw, something he did quite liberally against Judah. Automatically or immediately went back to his conventional stance. He's not fighting a southpaw tonight. He may not need ever to switch southpaw. He's lined up to land his left hook to the body the way he wants to.
Cotto switched briefly earlier in the fight. I think it was around the second round.
Mosley bouncing on his feet, staying on his toes, just as Harold Letterman referred to him doing in the latter part of round 6. Trying to present more movement to Miguel Cotto and maybe stop some of those thudding power shots. There have been some big right hands from Mosley in this round. Now Cotto lands a right hand in return. Now he switches southpaw, does Cotto.
The one thing that Shane has did very good, he's neutralized what everybody else considers to be Cotto's best punch, his left hook to the body. But he has been very effective in taking it away from him. And he's landing the right hands that he wanted, just that he's not a real big puncher.
When he's on his toes, he seems to be able, Mosley, that is, to land that right hand.
He gets his rhythm very good when he's on his toes. But I don't know how long he would do that, because by nature, he's still a fighter. Even though he moves like a boxer, he still likes to fight. And the real nature of him will probably come right back out again as soon as he gets hit.
Especially with his force of nature on him.
And how much more energy does he expend, Emmanuel, trying to stay on his toes and bounce and keep moving like that, rather than standing flat foot and trading with Miguel as he did earlier in the fight?
If he would box, but he doesn't really effectively jab a lot. He just moves and keeps Cotto's rhythm off and then drops a right hand. But I don't know how long he can continue to do that, though. He may do it for maybe 1 round or so.
The movement was enough to keep Cotto from landing his left hook flush a moment ago. He caught Mosley on the back of the ear with it. Now they wrestle some more, and clearly Cotto has the advantage when they wrestle, although here, a very strong Shane Mosley pushes him back.
Let's go, clean. Thank you, okay?
That was their least artistic round.
Which may have went to Shane possibly, too.
That was better. He's working the jab more. Just do some more of that. But give me some of them hooks, okay? Just spit it. Give me some more of those hooks, right? Some more of those hooks. You're doing a good job. You got it. This is the 7th round, I believe. So you're gonna have to pick up on the jabs a lot more. Those jabs are gonna have to score a lot more points now. One of these last rounds, you have to start scoring a lot of points.
No te tires. Ve con el jab.
Work the jab.
8 rounds.
Go on. 8.
Okay?
Here you see Shane landing the right hand, and he's landed probably about 25 of those. It's been his key punch tonight. That doesn't do anything for your drum either. But what's beautiful about those right hand, he starts them when Cotto still has his hands up, anticipating that by the time the punch gets there, Cotto will have moved his hand, and he's been very accurate on that.
CompuBox numbers in the 7th round. Miguel Cotto landed 14 out of 50. Those were his lowest numbers since the first round. Mosley 17 out of 52, including 11 of 24 power shots. We go to round 8.
Mosley's effective boxing in the last round, I think, dulled this fight slightly. Some of the drama went out of the fight in the last round, and I think that was a result of Mosley's effective movement.
I'm beginning to think the less drama there is, the better Shane has a chance to win.
That's true. Shane wants to keep it going. When it's too exciting, it's not good for him.
Mosley landed a right hand to the body and another big right upstairs. Both punches crashing into Mosley.
Yeah, Shane is doing very well. He's really keeping Cotto from getting his rhythm going right now.
Cotto's starting to solve it, though.
It's beautiful. It's in and out, dotting in and out, punching, changing directions.
And then as we say he dulled the fight a little, between them, they must have landed 15 clean punches.
Cotto's back in the southpaw stance. Gives Mosley something different to think about. Lands a left hand, switches back to the conventional. Crashing right hand for Miguel Cotto. Cotto seems to have dialed it back in just a little bit in this round. Right hand over the top again for Mosley. But Cotto, who brought in Randall Bailey, a thudding right-hand puncher as a sparring partner to prepare him for this, is walking through the right hands.
Yeah, but he isn't getting away from it. He just walking through them. Mr. Said he's still getting hit with them, and that doesn't do anybody good. He's getting hit with large right hands.
Cotto is fighting well, but I don't see where he's systematically breaking Mosley down as he's broken down every other opponent he's ever fought.
No, that's what makes Shane Mosley so special. That's why everybody out here is having a problem of trying to decide who they figure is going to win this fight.